of your choice. So we're excited about that. At 9 o'clock, we do have a keynote speaker, Dr. Marquis Dwarte. He is the Chief Academic Officer, and he's new, so I know I'm excited to hear from him, and I'm sure you are too. And he has some a little bit to share with us about coaching and what his expectations are for AACPS. So excited. Make sure you stay on for 9 o'clock to see him. And I'm going to turn it over at this time to Carrie so that she can go ahead and tell you about the logistics for today.
So good morning, everybody. Welcome to our 19th year of the eCoach program and our 19th year of eCoach Day. We're very excited for today and glad that you could join us. So before we get started, we just kind of want to get over some logistics to get those out of the way. So Tracy, if you wouldn't mind, thank you. So obviously, our meet links are in this for each session are listed on that session catalog. I can see many of you are in there now. So just make sure you have that up through the day. The meet links are linked underneath each individual session description. So each one of those will be unique. After today, probably by the end of next week, those meet links will be replaced with the recordings from the sessions, as well as any presentation materials that we have from our presenters. So just be on the lookout for that. That is definitely a link you don't want to lose. Attendance, whenever we're doing a virtual type of professional development, is always of great concern. We will be using the Google Meet attendance as well as a session evaluation form that will be dropped in at the end of every session. So we will be comparing those two. To make things easier for us, please make sure that you are logged in with your AACPS account. So if you're not sure, go ahead and double check in that top right-hand corner of the Chrome browser and make sure that you are syncing to your AACPS account. That will just make taking attendance that much easier for us, because otherwise we get an email address with a bunch of asterisks after it and we're not sure who you are. So we want to make sure that you get a credit for attending today. So again, will be two forms to verify that you are in the sessions: the Google Meet attendance, which you don't have to do anything for, and then that session evaluation form that will be dropped in by the moderator or the facilitator at the end of every session. Most important part of the day is lunch, of course. We were very happy to be able to give you a full hour today. We know it's rare that you get that opportunity. So take that time from 11:30 to 12:30 and enjoy your lunch. It's supposed to be a beautiful day outside. So make sure you get out, stretch your legs a little bit, and walk away from that computer screen. The last thing I want to talk about is our Floor is Lava challenge. So we can't have a game show day without some type of game show activity. This is optional, so please do not feel as if you're obligated to do this, but we think it's going to be a lot of fun. This link, we'll go ahead and drop it into the chat as well. And then Tracy, if you would bring that up for me, just so that you can see it on the screen. If you guys any of you are familiar with the Floor is Lava challenge on Netflix, we kind of tweaked it a little bit for our virtual day today. And again, if you just click on that link, it's in the session catalog as well. It will open up a Wixie. Make sure that if you click on Wixie from ClassLink first, you'll be able to get your own copy of that. Your goal here is to get from the entrance to the exit through the pieces of furniture. You have to cross at least 6 of them to get from the beginning to the end. So once you have your own copy, you can use your marker or your pen tool in Wixie to draw across. And then if you go to the next page, each of those pieces of furniture has a different task assigned to it. So you'll have to figure out which of those tasks you want to accomplish. The third page, you'll see some of those actually do require a photo or a picture or a screenshot. So those would go on that third page. Again, you're by no means obligated to do this. We just thought it would be a lot of fun. We will be collecting these at the very end of the day via the final evaluation form. Those that submit will get some prizes, because again, it's a game show theme. We have to have some prizes, right? And so doesn't have it. So Christiana, it might be that you copied it. I did go back in and make that change. So you can go in the link on the, oh, you know what? I think I know what happened. Haha, never mind. Tracy, go back for a second. Just make sure if you don't have a spot for your name in your office, just go ahead and type it on there. That's perfectly fine. It's not a big deal depending on when you made the copy. If you made the copy earlier, I did go in and tweak it. So we just want to make sure that the name was on there so that we know whose is whose, and we also know where to send your prizes to. So we hope this is fun. This is our eCoach edition. So different things throughout the day. What did you learn? Interacting with us on social media. If you do post to the social media, if you take that challenge, please make sure you tag us in that. We are at AACPS on Twitter/X. And then on Instagram, we are AACPS_OIT. So please make sure that you tag us on any of those social media challenges. So that's going to be on that Floor is Lava challenge again. That'll be on that final evaluation form. I do know a few of you have emailed and said that you had to scooch out and you might not make it all the way till 3:30. Please email me if that is the case, and I will send you that final eval form so you can turn that in. All right, moving on there, Tracy. The next slide, we wanted to make sure that everyone is aware that closed captioning is available throughout the day because we are using Google Meet. We will be dropping these specific directions into each Meet as we go through go through the day, but we wanted to make sure that you had that now. So it is down at the bottom of your screen. If you go through and you'll see the little CC button right next to your video, turning it on and off, right next to the emotions to react. So go ahead and I can turn that on if you want to be able to use the captions today. If you need to even translate them, you can translate them as well. So we want to make sure we cover that. And then next, just a couple of quick thank yous to our partners who are presenting for us today. We were thrilled to have so many of our vendors agree to help us out today. So Adobe is here, Adobe Express. We have BrainPop, Discovery Ed, Nearpod, Smart, Sphero, Tech for Learning /Wixie. A lot of people refer to it as Wixie, but it is Tech for Learning, Typing Club, and then also WeVideo. So special shout out to Adobe, BrainPop, Sphero, and WeVideo, as this is their first time presenting for us during eCoach Day. So we wanted to give credit to them. But then along with our vendors, if you would move on there for me, Tracy, we have some people who put themselves out there, which we greatly appreciate from AACPS, some of our e-coaches and champions. So we really wanted to draw attention to them and really give them a heartfelt thanks for participating. You can look for a little something extra in your mailboxes from us in the couple upcoming days. But thanks to Katie Old, April Crovo, Christiana Gaines, Meredith McClure-Scott, Jeremy Milligan, Mika Nakano, Sheila Norris, and Lacey Shepard. We really greatly appreciate you offering to be part of this day for us. So with that, I'm going to throw this over to Tracy, who's going to lead us through our first activity and get us started on that one. Tracy, it's all yours.
All right, thanks, Carrie. Okay, good morning, everybody. As Carrie has said several times, today is a game show theme, so we thought it would be fun to kind of kick off all of the sessions today by letting you guys engage in a little game that we're calling Guess the Word Salad. What I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to have you guys join this Lumio because it will actually be interactive for you. So I'm going to pause here for just a moment and I'm going to have you guys join the Lumio. So if you haven't joined a Lumio before, if you go to ClassLink, you're looking for your little firefly. Mine happens to be way up here in the upper right-hand corner of my ClassLink screen. Yours may be somewhere else on ClassLink, but you're looking for your Lumio firefly and you're going to click on that. And it's going to take you to a page that asks you to put in the teacher ID. So my teacher ID, I'm going to pop this out on the screen for you guys so you can see it nice and big. It is, well, that doesn't help so much. Okay, it is 70265. 70265 is the teacher ID you want to put in. I'll even type that in the chat for you guys. 70265. So find Lumio on ClassLink, select it, and then the teacher ID or class ID is 70265. Thanks. All right, so what is Guess the Word Salad? The idea behind this is sometimes you get an email requesting some help, but it isn't entirely clear what they actually need help with. Sometimes it's because they literally had 1 minute to type out that email before the next class comes in. Sometimes it's just lacking the terminology to really explain what the problem is. Sometimes they don't even know enough about the problem to describe to you what the problem is. They just know they need help with something. Sometimes as you read those, it's a little bit amusing. And we have taken on calling these word salad just for a little bit of fun so that we can read them a few times. But really the point is figuring out what the person needs help with and what they're requesting so that you can actually provide some assistance. So we thought it'd be fun to play a little game with some of our favorite word salad requests in the past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a scenario, and then I'm going to put up a couple of possible uh, what they're asking for. What exactly is the problem that they're asking for here? So I'm going to let you guys vote on what you think the problem is for each of these. Ready? Here we go. Round one. So you want to see if you can figure out what is the issue that this teacher is trying to describe. My team has been providing recorded lessons for classes. They have embedded Jamboard files. When playing the recording, it becomes hung up. I've also encountered a second issue with accessing worksheets after the recording has hung up. The only way I've found is to clear the problem. All right. Let's start our little poll here. Okay, so what do you think the problem was? Was it that Jamboard wasn't working? Was it that the file was too large? Maybe an extension was interfering with multiple applications? Go ahead, weigh in. Let us know. What do you think they were actually describing? Lots of C's. Yeah, you guys know those extensions are great, but they can cause problems, right? Okay, leaving it up for another second or two, and then we're going to move on. All right, responses are slowing down. I'm going to go ahead and end this one. All right, and let's move on. Round two, here we go. What is the issue this teacher is describing? Today I was modeling using Wixie tools with the students. We were doing a book. While I was showing them, two students said what I did showed up on their screen. Any ideas what was happening there? Is there a better way to model it for the students? All right, let's do the poll again. What was the problem? Maybe they just meant to say it didn't show up on their screen. B, only some students had joined the Google Meet. Or they didn't intend for it to show up and they were confused as to why it did. We're big fans of C today. Okay, C.
Tracy, I was just saying, I feel like we should have had some music playing in the background.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
I know, and I didn't think about it till now, but I feel like we need
Anybody
that,
got any
you know.
game show music you can quickly pull up for us? All right. Responses are slowing down here. Only got a couple people who thought it might have to do with Google Meet. Okay. Okay. I'm going to end this one. Lots of C's again. And let's move on. Round three. What is the issue this teacher was having? How do I create a file for teacher transfer files? Here's our poll. What is the problem? They're asking about a Google Shared Drive? Are they asking about a Brightspace course? Maybe they're asking about a new application that nobody in our office has heard of. Ooh, A. Okay. Lots of people think this could be a shared drive.
And Tracy, Jill to the rescue with game show music. So she dropped the link. So if anyone wants to, you know, play a little music for themselves, they can go for that.
Thank you, Jill. Good call. Okay, all right. I'm going to end this one, and we've got only one more. All right, here we go. Number 4. What is the issue this teacher was having? I have a student who's able to get into Brightspace, but can't access the graded assessment and only gets a drawing. What supports or options can I give the family to navigate this difficulty? What is the problem this teacher is describing? A, the assessment was a drawing. B, they're not using the correct menu option to see grades. Or C, maybe they're clicking on an attachment that was shared in the assessment. C's been very popular today. Okay. Responses are slowing down. Awesome. Okay. Again, lots of C's on this one. All right. I'm going to go ahead and click to end. Okay, so while we hope everybody had a little bit of a chuckle from that, really the point when you get an email like that or any other type of request that is a little bit confusing what they're asking for is to try and decipher and figure out how you can help. So now we're going to have you guys actually get into some groups here, and we're going to have you go through those scenarios. You're going to be assigned a specific scenario, and you're going to talk with your group about the best ways to figure out what exactly was happening in that. So step one, we're going to put you guys into some breakout rooms here. Step two, you are going to read your assigned scenario. Step three, you're going to consider and discuss the guiding questions. You'll find them at the top of the scenario document that we'll share here in just a second. You're going to pick somebody from your group who wants to be the recorder. They're actually going to type your ideas onto the pages that we have for you guys. And then, yeah, step five, your recorder is actually going to add those ideas there. By the way, because we have 136 folks in our meeting today, there will be multiple groups assigned to each scenario because, we don't have 136 scenarios or anything close to that. We've only got those 4. So if somebody here in OIT would like to set up some breakout rooms for me, that would be amazing. We had decided on 8 breakout rooms, please. So if you are in breakout room 1 or 2, you're going to discuss scenario 1. If you're in breakout room 3 or 4, you're going to discuss scenario 2. If you're in breakout room 5 or 6, you guys have scenario 3. And if you're in 7 or 8, you guys have scenario 4. So let me grab our link here to our document that actually has those scenarios so that you can reread them. And then it has what we're calling those guiding questions, some things that we want you to think about and discuss with your group. About how you might best be able to help decipher the problem that's going on there. So guiding question number 1, what are the keywords or terms that might help you begin to identify what the problem is? Guiding question number 2, what follow-up questions would you ask to clarify what's going on? Step 3, what resources, including people, I mean, remember, people are a resource as well, could you use to help you decide how to assist? And then guiding question number 4, how should you follow up with the person requesting? And then underneath, you can see all of those different scenarios, and they are the exact same ones that were just there in the game that we played together. So last thing before we dump you guys into those breakout rooms to discuss is what you're going to find here in this Lumio file if you've joined it. On the next pages, so let me switch us over to student paste. Awesome. So on slides 21, 22, 23, and 24, you're going to find scenario 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go to the page assigned to your group. You'll notice underneath where it says scenario 1 here, you can see it's a place to put the names of your group members, and then the boxes here on the concept map to type in your ideas for questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, remember, there will be multiple groups on the same page. So first thing we want you to do when you get into your breakout, pick that person who's willing to be your recorder, and they're actually going to type here onto the page, and then you guys are free to discuss. Do we have any quick questions before we let you guys go off into the, it still looks like it's trying to drop that link in. Do you have any questions before we put you into your breakouts?
Stephanie?
Ms. Kelly?
Yeah. How do we get the questions and the scenarios? Is that what's the hold up in the chat?
That's what looks like it's still trying to go from my chat. I had dropped that link in there, but it's spinning.
Okay.
So if somebody else wants to try and yeah, Coralina just dropped it in. There we go. Dan
Perfect.
got it. Great. Thank you, guys. Someday mine will actually go out, but it's just spinning.
All right. I've got the breakout.
One more time, Coralina just asked if I would repeat which groups are assigned to each scenario. So if you're in breakout rooms 1 or 2, you're doing scenario 1. Breakout groups 3 or 4 are discussing scenario 2. 5 and 6 are discussing scenario 3, and 7 and 8 are discussing scenario 4. All right.
And I was starting to do those as the titles of the groups, but I haven't gotten all the way through.
All right, so we're going to let you guys off into your breakout groups, and let's come back together in about 5 minutes. I have 8:50, so we're going to pull you guys back at about 8:55. So you got 5 minutes to discuss.
All right, and hold on, I got to scroll to the bottom here. All right, open rooms.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Okay, so let's quickly go through some of the ideas that you guys had for how you could help troubleshoot some of this. So taking a look at scenario number one, that was the one where the student was, the teacher was trying to model Wixie. Nope, sorry, that was the Jamboard file. Sorry. The Jamboard file playing a recording, it was getting hung up. So let's take a look at some of the ways that people thought they could help. Some of the keywords that came up there, see, that's the Wixie up there kind of threw me off. Let's look at question 2. Ask if they were in the original document. What are they impeding it in? Okay. What did they do to clear the problem? Okay, good. Question number 3, sharing screen, meeting to discuss, taking a screenshot, asking your e-coach. Yeah, those human supports are sometimes great. Question 4, what is the format or where is it being created? All right, let's take a look at scenario number 2 here. All right, scenario number 2. Yeah, so definitely some information about Wixie. What do they mean about doing a book? Oh, I love that you guys added the questions. That was great. Then you could just look right here at the Lumio there. Did you make yourself a copy of the Wixie? Great. Did you show me what you did or those steps that you took to understand? Great. Question 3, a fellow teacher or an e-coach would be great resources. Great. Um, and then how should you follow up in person? Yeah, you guys have that benefit of being right in the building with the teachers a lot of the time. So being able to just go to them and ask those questions to clarify is often an advantage that you guys have, whereas we're often following up on the phone, via email, jumping into Google Meets, whereas you can just walk down the hallway. All right, scenario 3 coming up here. Keywords. Yeah, what is that transfer file? What are we actually talking about there? That's a huge one to try and get to the bottom of. What follow-up questions could you ask? Where are you trying to create that? Where are you trying to move files to or from? What program are you utilizing? Describe the files. Great ideas here. What resources? Yeah, again, getting with that teacher and saying, show me what you need. Screenshots. Screenshots are huge, right? I mean, just asking for some screenshots, sending and sharing screenshots, big things so you can actually see what they're talking about. Show me what you've done to try and create the file and then offering to meet in person. All right, quickly, number 4, because then we've got to move on to our keynote for today. So question number 4. That was the one about the Brightspace assessment and that drawing. Trying to figure out what do they mean by a drawing? Looking at question 2 down there. Are we talking about a Google drawing? Are we talking about an actual picture that they uploaded to it? What is the assessment? What did you post? Some resources, the students view, screenshots again, teacher tools. Yeah, that's the first time we've seen that resource website. And then a Google Meet to actually follow up with them. And then following up maybe with the student would be awesome for scenario number 4. All right, so I hope you guys had some fun playing our little game, but I hope it also gave you some ideas of how to handle some of these more confusing requests when they come in from people, how to get to the bottom of some of those issues there. Okay, so we're going to transition now over to our fabulous keynote. So I'm going to turn it back over to Stephanie Kelly to introduce our keynote for the morning.
Okay, so what we're going to do is Carrie's going to take a second and give Dr. Dwarte hosting rights so he can share his presentation today. Already done. Okay, so in the meantime, while I'm introducing Dr. Dwarte, he can get his presentation up and ready to go. Many of you probably haven't had the opportunity to meet Dr. Dwarte yet, so we're really excited to have him here so that you could put a face to a voice to a name. And he was very excited when I asked him to come and join us today and be our keynote speaker. He was very, very excited. So I'm excited to present him. And hopefully you'll get some great information about your job and how important it is. And without further ado, Dr. Marquis Dwarte.
Yeah, so good morning, everyone. Not sure if I'm important enough to have the title of a keynote speaker, but I'll do my best to try to offer some remarks and words of inspiration for you all, and really just express my appreciation and gratitude first to Mrs. Kelly and Mrs. Talar for the opportunity to engage you all this morning. I'm really excited to be here to speak with you all. I believe anytime we talk about coaching, in any role that provides support and really the service of other people getting better so that we can become a better organization is a very important role. And I don't want to undercut the value that you all bring to our school and school system every day. And I don't want to minimize that. So I'm going to talk today about the importance of coaching relative to myself, and it's how it's really shaped and influenced my opportunities, my life, my experiences, and even my successes. And also turning attention to the roles that you do and the support that you're going to provide for our school system as we embark on this journey to move from a really good school system to a great and phenomenal school system per Dr. Bedell's vision. Again, I really want to drive home the point about the importance and impact of coaching. And I'm really honing on that part. And we're going to talk a little about instructional technology as well. So I'm going to try to pull up my PowerPoint here. If you guys could be so kind to just give me a second. And I do my window. Here we go. I think that was it. Are you able to see my, Stephanie, are you able to see my screen here? My PowerPoint?
So I see your screen, but I see the people in the meet.
Okay.
So bring up your PowerPoint and then we'll see what happens. Right now, okay, you just chose the wrong screen.
Here we go. I got it now.
Hold on, it's still coming. Oh, that's it. You got it.
Perfect. See, this is why we have e-coaches. I need an e-coach. All right, so I'm going to jump right into this. So again, I really want to talk about the impact of coaching. And really, we've talked in this school system for the past year that Dr. Bedell has been here about moving from good to great. And I want to really drive home the importance of the role you're all going to play in moving us as it relates to instructional technology and what that's going to do to help leverage high levels of student learning. I'm going to start first with just a video about why coaching and why this is important. And I'm pretty sure you'll recognize the person in this video.
Everyone needs a coach. It doesn't matter whether you're a basketball player, a tennis player, a gymnast, or a bridge player. My bridge coach, Sharon Osberg, says there are more pictures at the back of her head than anyone else's in the world. Sorry, Sharon. Here you go. We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve.
Over the years, I've received so many different kinds of advice, I don't know where to start. One that comes to mind is to have a coach. Our board member in 2002, John Doerr, said, "You need a coach." And I said, "Well, I don't need a coach. I'm an established CEO. Why would I need a coach? Is something wrong?" He said, No, you need a coach. Everybody needs a coach. So Bill Campbell became my coach and has served Google very well. Every famous athlete, every famous performer has somebody who's a coach, somebody who can watch what they're doing and say, is that what you really meant? Did you really do that? They can give them perspective. And one thing people are never good at is seeing themselves as others see them. A coach really, really helps.
So again, here's just a visual. I want everyone to just take a few seconds to look at this visual. And just think to yourself, what does this visual mean to you? How do you internalize this particular photo? So coaching matters, and I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, which is not something I am particularly fond of, but I think it's important for the sake of this conversation as we talk about coaching and why it matters, and why it mattered to me in terms of my family upbringing, my education, my athletics career, which opened the doors for an opportunity for me to have an education, and obviously coaching throughout my career and how it's really helped me get to where I am. Because I really want to make sure you understand the impact that your role has on helping people get better and aspiring to achieve their goals, their aspirations, their dreams. So first, a little bit about me and my family. I'm the proud son of a U.S. Marine. My dad was a U.S. Marine, and as such, we moved around quite a bit. And of course, when your dad is a Marine, by proxy, your mom is pretty much a Navy SEAL, right? And so my mom was probably almost as tough as my dad was, but the coaching I got growing up around hard work, discipline, having aspirations, having ambition. That was coaching growing up. Those were opportunities for people to take me where I was and help me get to where I wanted to be. In education, it was the same idea. I had a lot of teachers throughout my career, elementary, middle, high school, college. I had a phenomenal teacher turned coach in graduate school who really pushed me to be an academic, to be a scholar. I kind of skated through, if I'm being honest, undergraduate as a football player and athlete. And when I got to graduate school, I met Dr. Julia Orza. She really pushed me as a coach. She ingratiated herself to me and pushed me, and she saw potential in me that she wanted to help maximize. And I really appreciate that because I really believe that was kind of the impetus in terms of me becoming someone that took academics really serious and really helped me lay the foundation for what has been, I like to believe, somewhat a successful career, at least thus far. Athletics, I think there's probably people on this call that have played athletics, that have coached. Obviously, coaches are very good at being master motivators and their ability to understand who you are and where you are and give you the coaching, the tips, the strategies to move you along the continuum so that you can really optimize or maximize your potential and your talent. I know coaches, particularly athletic coaches, sometimes they're unapologetically honest and candid, but they're fortunate at every step in my career. I've had mentors and coaches who have really taken time and opportunity to push and grow me. And so I just want to say that, even to this day now, I have an executive coach. Even in the position I'm in now, I have an executive coach that I meet with once a week, who can give me, as Bill Gates talked about, the and provide constructive feedback and criticism when it's not. And that's much of your role in terms of what you're doing with teachers every day in your schools. So I'm going to shift focus a little bit and kind of make this more about you now, right? So we talk about actualizing greatness in the school system. One of the things that Dr. Bedell spelled out in his 100-day entry plan and reinforced in his post-entry plan is that the Board of Education for Anne Arundel County Public Schools has a very high level of urgency. There's a sense of urgency to make sure that Anne Arundel County Public Schools graduate students who are college and career ready, as well as globally competitive. And really becoming a nationally prominent school system, because we have such great things going on here. We've got great staff, great faculty, great facilities, great communities, and the goal is really to become a premier school system. We're really good. We're not quite great, but there's an opportunity to be great. And we know the way you achieve greatness as a school system is you have great academic achievement. And so that being said, when you follow that particular logic model, we know if we become a great school system by way of great academic outcomes, then we know our system's greatness is heavily contingent upon teacher capacity. Our ability to be great cannot exceed our ability to grow our teachers and make them great at what they do. And once again, that comes back to the role that you all play as coaches, alongside the principals, the assistant principals, your teacher mentors, your teacher specialists, as well as you. You all play a role in helping build our teacher capacity so we can be a great school system and so they can be the very best teachers that they can be, and really in an effort to provide the best education possible for our students. So I just want to make sure you see how you all connect to the bigger picture and the work that we're trying to do, or I should say the work we are going to do in Anne Arundel County over the next couple of years. What do we know about effective coaches? It really boils down to two things in my life lessons and my experiences. You all are very altruistic. I know this is not a primary function of your jobs. It is a much needed function, but it's not a primary function. Obviously, it's not compulsory. It's not required. You're making a conscious effort to do this work on behalf of your colleagues and indirectly on behalf of the students that we all serve every day. And that means a lot. You have to care enough to want to take on this role and do this work, which segues nicely to core value two, which is motivation. Oftentimes, it's the reality that not everyone you're working with is completely motivated to truly maximize, their performance in the name of helping students, right? And so sometimes you find yourself having to be a master motivator to get people to understand the value of the coaching, the teaching that you're providing, the access to instructional technology, and showing them how to leverage it in the name of student achievement. And so again, you have to be altruistic, you have to be motivators. Clearly that really speaks to everyone on this call, and that's why you're on this call right now, and you're doing the work that is very valuable and the work that we so gratefully appreciate, even at the highest levels of the organization. What do we know about effective coaching? It really boils down to two things, right? It's really about helping people get better and helping them be the best they can be. That's really what it's about. It's finding opportunities to coach people, to show them, hey, you may right now be a B+ teacher. Let me show you how to become an A-. And let me show you how to become an A teacher. And I'm going to show you how to do that because I'm going to teach you how to leverage technology in a way that's going to grow students and really help our school system. And now we put coaching in the context of instructional technology specific to what you all do. And so I've talked a lot about growing teachers. We talked about, student performance, all in the name of becoming a really great and phenomenal school system. But I came down to four things that I was doing some research on when I was thinking about this presentation. I really wanted to touch upon four kind of overarching themes. One being college and career readiness. We throw that acronym CCR around. It's become somewhat commonplace and ubiquitous. But as it relates to the work you're doing around instructional technology, it's what you do is impactful and truly helps set our students up for the workforce demands and expectations they're going to have. Regardless of what jobs students pursue in the 21st century, whether it's becoming a stockbroker, a teacher, an attorney, someone honestly who fixes the printers in the office buildings, pretty much any job that students are going into is going to require some level of, technology acumen, which takes us to the next bullet point, which is digital literacy, right? Effective communication and collaboration are 21st century skills. And we do that now by leveraging technology, all the tech tools that we have in our arsenal, so to speak, as a school system. And your ability to help teachers pick the right tool for the right students at the right time to leverage learning, that's critical, right? So it's helping them understand when to use technology, what technology to use, and how to really maximize using that particular technology for that particular group of students, teaching that particular lesson. And that level of intentionality helps our students, helps our teachers, and ultimately helps our school system. Digital equity is key. As you push your teachers and as you coach your teachers to embrace technology tools that we have, every time they use a technology tool, they're helping students understand the power of digital learning, the power of technology, which honestly is creating digital equity, because there are some students who don't have access to a lot of the instructional tools and the technology tools that you all are coaching coaching teachers around. They don't have access to that in their home. And so sometimes this is the only opportunity those students are able to engage in these instructional technology tools, which again carries us back to digital literacy, which again prepares them for workforce and truly helps them be college and career ready. The last one is innovation. I know that's the theme of today's meeting, was innovation. Obviously, we can use and leverage instructional technology to accelerate and enhance learning as well as engagement. It helps us solve complex and novel problems. I know there's a lot of buzz right now around obviously AI and artificial intelligence, and that's kind of the next iteration of technology that can really enhance student learning and streamline the work that we do. And so I just wanted to kind of bring that home in terms of the coaching and context, which you all do, and how it all connects to helping us be a great school system. Going back to the original slide, our greatness is heavily contingent upon how great our teachers are. And how great they are is heavily contingent upon their technology as a tool to support student learning. I have a video here, and I'm going to see if this comes up. I had an issue with it yesterday, so I will see if I can switch to here. And I wanted to just sandwich this and drive home this point.
I'm able to, I was able to pull up the video on my end if you want me to play it.
Are you unable to see the video?
Yeah, we're not seeing the video.
Oh, I apologize.
It's okay.
Ooh. Okay. Let me try this again. I apologize. And actually, what I'll do is, for the sake of time, I'll just voice over the video. And what it is, it's a video by an author of a New York Times bestseller, Atul Gawande. And we can certainly send the video link out. But he just talks about reinforcing the importance of coaching, and how he, even as a nationally renowned surgeon, a world-renowned surgeon, had to really accept and embrace the idea of coaching, because he understands how important the role is to helping him get better. And he just articulates that in a matter of 2 minutes and maybe 50 seconds. And we can certainly share that video clip at a different time, but it's just driving home the point about why coaching matters and why you all matter so much. No matter how great someone is, they can always get better with a coach who's going to give them that outside perspective and that honest feedback and help grow them. And so I'm going to go back to kind of where we opened with this slide. And I showed you kind of the bridge, and I asked you to kind of think about what that meant to you. And really what it means is you start on where we are, and the other side of the bridge is where we can be. And really, connector is coaching. That's the growth and development that gets us from where we are to where we can be to truly optimize and fulfill or maximize our potential. So I wanted to just drive home that point with you all and just remind you play a significant role in the school system and that you're very much appreciated. And just wanted to, again, thank you for all that you do. I know you did an amazing job over the past year or so managing the change that was moving to Brightspace and all of the different technology that came along with that. And so I do appreciate that you all for all that you do. And at that point, I'm going to take my presentation down.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Dwarte. We're very motivated by what you had. It was a great presentation. And yep, we're getting little icons up. People are appreciating seeing you and meeting you for the first time. We do have some logistics to go through today. And I see that some people may have some questions, but I would say just email your questions to me and I can put them together and give them to Dr. Dwarte at a later time with some answers. But we thank you very much for joining us today. Please feel free to jump into any of the sessions on the schedule to kind of see some of the great things that are going on today, especially with our AACPS folks that are presenting. And again, thank you so much. I'm going to turn this over to Carrie right now so she can continue with the logistics of the day. And have a wonderful day, everybody.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Dwarte. We have dropped the attendance form in the chat, so please make sure you grab that before you hop out. Otherwise, the next session, we did run a little bit over, so we'll make sure that everyone is aware of that. But the next session does start in about 4 minutes. at 9:25. So we have lots of good sessions for you. So enjoy, and we will see you later this afternoon at the end of the day as for our wrap up and Q&A. All right. Thank you all very much.
If you haven't already, the link to the video that Dr. Dwarte shared is in the chat if you want to grab it before you leave.